Welcome to this demonstration of the Lexifind Scrabble Helper, a web application that installs and runs inside your browser and allows you to see every word that can be played to your Scrabble or other word game board. The other word games that are supported by this app are Literati, Lexulus, Word Scraper, and Words with Friends. But for this demonstration, imagine that you have just started a Scrabble game with an opponent and that you have already played the word word, W-O-R-D, right here. So I'm clicking and typing word onto the board. And imagine that after playing that word, you drew the letters G-R-E-O-S-M and a blank from your bag of letters. Immediately, the Lexifind Scrabble Helper shows you that the highest scoring word that you might play at this point would be word mongers for 107 points. Unfortunately, it's not your turn. It's your opponent's turn, and she responds to your original play of word with a much better word, goodies, which gives her a 7-letter 50-point bingo bonus. You're feeling pretty down about that until you notice that the Lexifind Scrabble Helper has pointed out gomerels, a word that's worth 90 points. And that if you look at the next word in this sort by score list, you find gruesome for the same number of points, 90, and gruesome with a W for 90 points as well, before you move down to the 80-point word here, mongers, and so on. In fact, there are 9,529 possible words, as shown here, that can be played to this board, and you can move through all of them just by clicking and dragging this slider bar. And you'll see all of these words appear. You can stop every so often just to see what's there. Every single word on this board can be seen. Not only that, you can sort by position and see all these words displayed from top to bottom row and from left to right column. So if you're interested in a particular area of the board, just stop as you go past it and take a look. You can also sort by alphabetical order. So, if you'd like to find a particular word with which to tease your opponent for making such a great play with that word goodies, and you wanted to search for words beginning with ego, you could just go to where words starting with ego begin, and then you could start going through all those words: ego, egoism, egotism, and so on. You can also sort by word length and see the longest words all the way down to the shortest of the words. But let's go back to sorting by score. And now we don't necessarily want to play the highest scoring word, because you can see here that there are some triple word scores available to be played upon, and perhaps your opponent might play on them for a very good score. If you had a way of blocking those, then without getting too much lower a score than you could get with this 90 here, you'd want to do it, wouldn't you? So click here on this box that says Show Words Covering Specific Dotted Square first, and then Alt-click to move the dotted square over to this triple first, and you see forward can be played there, as well as overword before we move on. And over here, smoker could be played, mores, morse, modes. Quite a few different words could be made that will play onto that triple there. So you're in very good shape if you want to cover them, but unfortunately the best score you could possibly get for these would be this 36. It doesn't compare at all to the 90 that you would get here. So you're going to uncheck that box. Should we do gomerels? Well, we're still concerned about these triples here. If we can possibly make it harder to play on them. And you can see that gruesome with the W is a little harder to play on than the S or the R would be. And also it's a blank that's assigned this W, so there are 0 points involved if she does make it over to this triple. So let's try that and play gruesome here. To place the word, we just click on Place Word, and gruesome is taken off of the rack and played onto the board, and now you're ready to enter your next set of rack letters and see your next set of results. In addition to the word finding features that have just been demonstrated, You can also check a word to see whether it's a valid word in your currently selected word list. So, for example, suppose that gruesome with a W appeared to me to be a questionable word. I could type in Grewsome, and instantly it tells us word is in TWL. Currently selected list is TWL. That's the North American Scrabble list with over 178,000 words. You also could choose to use Salpods, which is used for international English language play outside North America, and OSPD4, which is the US School Scrabble list, which is basically the same as TWL, except it has certain objectionable words removed so that the children don't have to encounter them while they're engaged in their school Scrabble competitions. Well, that concludes our demonstration. If you like what you've seen here, we hope that you'll come visit us at Google's Chrome Web Store that's located at chrome.google.com/webstore. And when you get there, search in the search box in the upper right corner for Lexifind, Lexifind, and you'll see our free and paid versions there. Click on whichever one you want to try, and you'll be taken to the page from which you can install that into your browser. It doesn't take very long to do, and then you'll own it, and it will be yours forever. So please do come and check us out, and we hope that you enjoy using our program, and that you will learn many new words from it and become a much better player at Scrabble or whatever other word game you're utilizing this for.